And we should be live. Welcome everyone. I hope everything looks and sounds good. If you could let me know in the chat, I'd appreciate it. So this live stream is about the Ninja 5 and the 5 Plus. Although I don't have a 5 Plus, but I can talk about what extra things there are. So what am I talking about? Let me switch to the browser and I can show you. So ATOMOS released OS11 for all devices, but the Ninja 5 and the 5 Plus specifically. There was a free of charge upgrade, but additionally there was a feature pack that you could purchase, or still can, for the Ninja 5 and the Ninja 5 Plus. And I'll be going over what has changed in OS11 in a minute, but I also want to show you what the feature packs includes, what I'm going to talk about in the feature pack. So that includes for the Ninja 5 EL zone, and if you don't know what that is, I'll get to that. ARRI false color, segment pro, playback assist, record assist, and Wi-Fi 6, and I'll get to that in a second as well. For the Ninja 5 Plus, it's basically all the same, except for its Wi-Fi 6E, and you get ProRes RAW dual record, and I'll get to that, and SDI Cine, and I'll get to that as well. And both feature packs also include H.265 and ProRes activation. So that's in short what the feature pack includes. Let me switch back to the main camera. And let me look at the chat, because I didn't check if everything sounds good. Okay, sounds great. That's awesome. Is the new OS, Clifflix, is the new OS available for the Ninja 5? Yes. I keep looking on the My ATOMOS page and I don't see the download. Oh, that's strange, because you should see an update available if you registered your Ninja 5. Yeah, and if you have My ATOMOS, that I assume that means you registered your Ninja 5. You don't see the download. Well, maybe I can look at that in a minute. But let me first talk about OS11, and I have my GH6 set up with the Ninja 5, and one of my Oswald tail airs is filming the Ninja 5. So let me switch to that. Right, so what has changed in OS11? Well, not a whole lot, really. The appearance has changed. They basically removed all the colors from the icons, which I personally don't really like. I liked the colors in the icons because it made it easier to see what they were at a glance. So yeah, not sure why they did that, and I don't particularly like it, but you might like it. It does look a bit cleaner, I guess. And what has also changed is that the red recording frame, the red frame, is a bit less pronounced, which I also don't really understand why they did that. I was absolutely fine with the kind of bright red frame. But yeah, they did that in OS11. And basically, there isn't much more to OS11 in itself. Let me switch back to the main camera. The rollout of this update a few weeks ago, I don't know if you saw my posts, was an absolute disaster. People not being able to upgrade, and even people that got their Ninja bricked because it was the wrong firmware file, as far as I understand. And I myself had also trouble with updating, not really to OS11 because I waited for a bit, but I did have problems with the feature pack. It didn't activate at all. The token wouldn't get recognized. Eventually they sort of fixed it, but as I understand, not for everyone. I still, like on some Facebook groups, I still see people having problems with the activation, and they're like missing things, features that should be there that aren't there anymore. And what's also a bit strange about it is the feature pack for the Ninja 5 is $79, and for the Ninja 5 Plus, $129, I believe. And I'm going to talk about why I think it's worth it, but it also, like I said earlier, it includes H.265 and ProRes RAW. And for people that previously activated H.265 before this feature pack, paid, I believe, $100 just for H.265. So I kind of feel ATOMOS should have given those people a discount on the feature pack, because they paid even more for just H.265 than the price of the feature pack. So I think that sucks a little bit. Other than that, yeah, did I go over everything in OS11? Yeah, also let me switch back quickly, because there are, again, layout differences or appearance differences in the menus as well. Those also look a bit, yeah, cleaner, I guess. No more colors. Not very interesting, really. I guess they just wanted to give it a new look to match the newer Ninja and then Ninja Ultra and whatever they... It's a bit confusing, really. They're all called Ninja, and I believe the newest is just Ninja, which, yeah, I find a bit confusing. Let me switch back. Yes, so let me have a look at the chat. Rune Stone. I've been running the new OS11 on my Ninja 5, original, not Plus, and it runs well. Yeah, it does run well. I haven't run into any issues either. Clifflix, I see 3 paid options available for me to buy, but the OS update is not listed. Let me see if I can find that. ATOMOS. Let me go to my ATOMOS and then see what it says. Obviously, I already updated it, so it won't give me the message. But if you go to my ATOMOS in your devices, under the tab Features, it should, like, the first thing you should see is that you can upgrade to OS11, because I'll show you. My ATOMOS, let me switch to the browser. This is where you should see it. On my ATOMOS, it says still on Atom OS 10 or below, and then I can swap back to ATOMOS 10. But in your My ATOMOS, it should say that you could upgrade to OS 11. And then here is where you can activate the different packs and codecs. So yeah, if it's not there, I would contact ATOMOS, because it should be there. All right, so let's talk about the feature pack. And the first thing I want to talk about is the H.265 codec, particularly in comparison to internal H.265 in the GH6, because I did a comparison and they shouldn't be any different, and at least that's I wasn't expecting them to be any different. So I made a test shot and I'll show it to you now. On the left you can see the internal H.265 10-bit 420 from the GH6, and on the right the one from the Ninja. And I on purpose made a little bit of a color cast, a red color cast on the color chart there, to see if I could see any like blotching from noise reduction, like a different sort of noise reduction algorithm. But really, I can't see any difference between them. However, technically, there is a difference, because as you can see on the left, it's 10-bit 420, and on the right, on the Ninja, it's 10-bit 422. So the chroma subsampling is higher on the Ninja's H.265. So I guess if you, let me switch back. I should stop saying that I'm switching, because you can just see that I'm switching, right? What was I saying? Yeah, I guess if you do a lot of like green screening or keying, that you might benefit from H.265 10-bit 422 on the Ninja. On the other hand, if you do that, the green screening or a lot of keying, you might as well shoot in ProRes. I think that's a better option if you want to do that. Also for playback with keying. So that's a quick word about H.265. Let me have a quick look at the chat. Frank. Hello, Frank. Glad you're here. Evening, sir. Can only pop in for a few minutes. Oh, that's all right. I've got a night shift ahead of me. Sorry. Have a good one. Thanks, Frank. Glad you could make it for a few minutes at least. That's very nice. Can the new OS work on my old original Ninja 5? Yes, definitely. Because that should be the same one as I have, the Ninja 5. And it works fine. Absolutely fine. I thought it only worked on the new stuff. No, they specifically... let me see if I can bring that up. I can. Here, going forward, we will be phasing out support for OS 10, Atom OS 10. But don't worry, there is an upgrade path for Ninja 5 and Ninja 5 Plus owners. So, obviously, I do have the update, but it also says so on the ATOMOS website. So you're good to go if you want to update. All right, more questions? Clifflix, I found the OS upgrade under the support section. Oh, wow. It's weird that it's different for different people. I find in general that ATOMOS is not really... It's not very easy to find the information you're looking for on the ATOMOS website or in the My ATOMOS sort of space. It's not very clear. I also tried to look up, and I'm gonna, well, I might as well talk about that now. There is one thing in the feature pack for the Ninja 5 Plus called SDI Cine. And I didn't know what it was. And in fact, I still don't, because I can't find it on the website what it is. My best guess is that it adds compatibility with the SDI module, but I believe the original Ninja 5 also has compatibility with the SDI module. So I really don't know what SDI Cine is. So if anyone knows, tell me in the chat. Let me know. Someone was also asking, I forget who it was. Doesn't really matter. What's the file size difference between recording in H.265 and ProRes LT or ProRes 422? And I looked that up, or I tested it. ProRes LT files are about twice as big compared to H.265, and ProRes 422, so the next step up, files are about 3 times as big. So the difference is quite significant. On the other hand, if you have a less powerful computer, then it might be worth shooting in ProRes because it's much easier to process compared to H.265. Also, the particular H.265 on the Ninja 5, is, like I said, 422, which is even heavier to decode by a computer. Sorry. Quick look at the chat. You are a star. I read this all wrong and thought OS10 was the end of the road. Good night, buddy. Well, I don't know how you say it in English, but werk ze in het Nederlands. Like, you have to go to work, so good luck. All right, let's move on. I talked about the image difference. Okay, so now let's talk about the feature pack, or packs. Let me have a quick look at the quality of the stream. Yes, everything is good. Right, let's start with the first thing I have on my list from the feature pack, which is Segment Pro. And I'm not gonna say switching. I just did. Okay, so what is Segment Pro? Well, it's in the main menu under Record. No, under Segment. But it is about recording. It basically means that you can segment your recordings based on file size or based on duration. So in this case, I have it set to enabled, and I've set the file size, the segment size, to 4 GB, and you can adjust that here. And you can even pick different units like terabyte or 100 gig, 10 gig, or just gigabytes. And then here you can put in the amount that you would like. So, and the same thing goes for split by time. If I enable that, I can set hours or minutes, where after that it starts to record a new file. Now, why would you want this? It's basically mainly for security. If you segment your recordings, then the chances, if anything goes wrong with a particular recording, you will only lose that segment of the recording and not your whole recording. And that can be quite useful. I need to drink something. So I think it's a very useful feature, especially if you do very long takes. Then it might definitely be worth it to turn on segmented recording, either by size or by duration. And that's basically segmented recording. Let's move on to the next one, which is playback assist. And you can find that in the playback menu. It always needs a little bit of time to switch over. And I'm not getting this right, apparently. Where was that? No, this is scheduling, which is also... Oh yeah, playback assist is also scheduling. That's what it was. So here, under this is a new menu from the feature pack called Schedule, and you can set a playback schedule, which basically means that it will start playing at a particular time. And I probably won't ever use that, but I can imagine that you would have like a scheduled sort of automated live stream of some sort, where you want to have a pre-recorded video start at a certain time. I can imagine that being useful. There isn't much more to it other than that you can also let it loop playback, so that might be useful. Other than that, there is nothing there. Go back. Okay, before I go on to the next thing, let's have a look at the chat. Runestone, I've got a flight to catch in a few hours, so I'll download this video later and watch the rest on the plane. Awesome. This is an awesome channel. Well, thank you. Thanks for everything you do and share with us. Well, it's my pleasure. I have a lot of fun doing it. Okay, this name is a bit difficult. Probably Italian. Guglielmo. Cheers. Leave a like, guys. Well, that's that would be awesome. All right. Sorry if I pronounced your name incorrectly. Clifflix, fully upgraded to OS11. Oh, already. Awesome. Awesome. Glad it worked out. All right. Next thing. Record assist. Let's switch back, of course. Record assist, which is also in the main menu. And it's, yeah, on the advertisement for the feature pack, it's called Record Assist, but it's also, again, under Schedule. And this is basically the same thing as the Playback Assist, but now for recording. So you can schedule a recording. You can set it to record at a specific time, or a delay. So like in a few hours. And then you can also set whether you want it to fill the disk, or you can set a duration of the recording. So let's say you want to record for exactly 1 hour. You put in 1 hour, just like I have, and it will start the recording at the specified time and stop the recording after exactly 1 hour. And if you toggle it off, then it's, well, it's not off. You toggle it to the left and then it will fill whatever drive is in there. So I now have a 500 gig drive in there. It will fill that up and then stop the recording, obviously. And if you toggle this one to the left, it's delayed recording. So if I now, what's now set is 20 hours, 24 minutes and 35 seconds. That's when it will start. If I set it to a time of day, it will start at approximately 10 to 4. So that's record assist, which is confusingly called schedule in the menu. And I think that, well, I might as well switch back. This could be useful if you're, for example, setting a camera up to film some wildlife very early in the morning, and you don't want to get out of bed that early. You can schedule it and it will start recording for you. That might be handy. Other use cases, not sure. But it's nice to have. And there isn't much more to it. The next thing is Wi-Fi 6. And this is about, like, the Ninja 5 and the 5 Plus do not have Wi-Fi built in. You need the ATOMOS Connect module for that, which is also available at a discount. It's now, I think, $100 for the Connect module. I don't really have a use for it, so I don't have it. But it's now compatible with that, with the Wi-Fi in some way. At the very least, there is no Wi-Fi in the device itself. So that's also included in the feature pack and not in the operating system upgrade. So if you have a Connect module, that might be worth doing. And then for the 5, do any of you have the 5 Plus that are watching the stream right now? Curious to know, because there are two things extra with the 5 Plus, like I said in the beginning, which is ProRes RAW dual record and SDI Cine. Well, I already talked about SDI Cine. I still don't really know what it is. But I do know what ProRes RAW dual record is. Yeah. ProRes RAW dual record, or ProRes dual record, really, what's it called? Let me quickly check that. No, ProRes RAW dual record. That's what it's called. Means that you can record ProRes RAW and H.265 at the same time. So it's actually dual recording the video feed, which can be really quite useful if you want a master file in ProRes RAW, but you want to have proxies in H.265. And I believe with the Connect module, you can also simultaneously upload those H.265 proxies to the whatever cloud ATOMOS has. Not sure how it's called, but ATOMOS has a cloud service for proxy files. So those are the extra things for the 5 Plus. I think the price difference is quite significant, $79 and $129. And I think, yeah, you don't really have a choice. If you have the 5 Plus, that's the feature pack you can get for it. You can't get the $79 feature pack for the 5 Plus. I find the price difference a bit too much, really, in my opinion. So that's for the 5 Plus. And I'm getting to the most interesting thing from the feature pack. But let's have a look at the chat. How hot does your Clifflix? How hot does your Ninja 5 get? Mine gets very hot, but has never shut down. Yeah, the Ninja can get quite hot. I do have the I can show you the fan mode. Under power, I have the cooling mode set to low and turbo cool toggled on, which means that whenever it's recording, it keeps the fan speed low, and then yeah, it does get hot, but at least it's quiet or quieter. And then whenever I stop recording, it will boost the fan to cool it down quickly. And that has worked really well for me. I live in the Netherlands. I don't have a very hot climate here. But yeah, it has worked really well. One more thing, now I'm in this menu, under activation, you can check whether everything, after you've upgraded, you can check whether everything is actually activated. So all your codecs are here. Quickly wanted to show you that. All right. Let's move on to the most interesting thing of this whole feature pack, and the thing that I think makes the feature pack worth getting, which is EL Zone. If you don't know what EL Zone is, it's an exposure tool, similar to false color, very similar indeed, but it's measured in stops, as opposed to, say, ARRI false color, which is also included in the feature pack, which is just a different, it has like different ranges from the original false color of the Ninja. ARRI false color just uses different ranges and different colors, but it's still just false color. EL Zone gets measured in stops, like I said, whereas the false color options are either measured in IRE or in percentage. And because EL Zone is measured in stops, I personally find it much easier to read the exposure, because you don't have to think about all those numbers, percentage or IRE. I find stops much easier because, I mean, that's how a camera works, right? And there is another very interesting thing, which it's a thing that I have been complaining about with the ATOMOS recorders, which is that all the exposure tools that it has, they take the reading from the image, the exposure reading, from let me start over. When you turn on a viewing LUT on the Ninja, when you shoot log, in my case vlog, the Ninja will take the exposure reading post LUT, so with the LUT applied, which basically makes the exposure tool sort of useless when you're shooting in log, because you want to see how the log is exposed, not the LUT. The interesting thing with EL Zone is that it doesn't matter whether you turn on the viewing LUT or not. It will keep reading the exposure of the log footage, and not with a LUT applied. I'll show you in a minute, but this is what I've been wanting on the Ninja for ages, and while it's great that they've implemented that with EL Zone, I really don't understand why they couldn't change that for the other exposure tools as well. I mean, they can do it with EL Zone, so why not the rest? Anyway, it is what it is, but EL Zone is yeah, sort of kind of perfect if you like to use false color for your exposure. So before I show you, I'll have a look at the chat. I am going to shoot a short film in the Mexican desert in ProRes RAW, so I was wondering too. Thanks. You're welcome. Anybody editing ProRes RAW in DaVinci Resolve? Well, yeah, that's a whole nother topic. You have to convert it to Cinema D and G. Resolve is still not supporting ProRes RAW, unfortunately. And the conversion, there are conversion apps. They're not free, and that works well. You get massive files because DNG is basically, as far as I know, sort of uncompressed. So file sizes are massive, and it's basically how Cinema DNG works is it's basically like B-RAW is just a whole bunch of pictures, basically. So yeah, I haven't been using ProRes RAW really. Yeah, I've done a few tests, but since I can't import it into Resolve, yeah, there's really no. I don't really want to convert it, and I don't have that much need for to shoot RAW. If I do want to shoot RAW, I'll grab this one, the Blackmagic Video Assist, and I'll shoot B-RAW. All right, let's look at EL Zone. Okay. I have it already set up, but if you find yourself not seeing EL Zone, then you can set under this menu, the in the bottom right. If you hit that, then it says false color here, and then you can pick ATOMOS, which is how it was before the feature pack false color. I'll show you. And then you can also pick RE false color, and you can see that they measure it in different ranges with RE false color, as opposed to ATOMOS false color and EL Zone. So with EL Zone, you can see here in the middle, I hope you can see it because it's really quite small. Let's see if I can zoom in a bit. Yes. Can you see it? I hope so. Anyway, here in the middle, it says 18%, and it has a gray like swatch, meaning that this is middle gray, 80% gray. And on the, like going up, it counts up in stops. First half a stop, then 1 stop, 2 stops, 3 stops, and so on, up to 8 stops. And the same going down. So it's really, really simple. And I can show you this. Let me hide this top menu. This green swatch here on my color chart is middle gray. And the nice thing is, if it's now underexposed, but if I now bring up the exposure with the light I have set up, then you can see as I bring it up that I've already gone too far. Let me go back a bit. Yeah, there we go. It turns gray, which means that it's perfectly exposed for middle gray. So gray turns gray, which I think is really nice. It makes so much sense to me. I don't know how you feel about it, but to me it makes perfect sense to measure in stops and also have gray for middle gray. The other thing is, like I said earlier, if you now turn off the LUT, I have it set to a Vlog 2 Rec 709 LUT. If I now turn it back to native, nothing changes. Wonderful. It's still the same exposure reading, meaning that it doesn't read the exposure with the LUT applied. It's still reading the native image, which to me is the thing that makes the feature pack worth it, just for this tool. It's wonderful. And I wish camera manufacturers, or more camera manufacturers, would implement EL Zone. I believe some Sony cameras have it. Not sure, but I hope Panasonic will implement that in their future cameras. Also, one more thing that I can't show you because I don't have a camera set to the screen of my GH6, but it corresponds. They're exactly the same. So I have the luminance spot meter. If you have a newer Lumix camera, you'll have luminance spot meter. So I set that to the middle gray swatch, and it reads 0 stops, just like the EL Zone on the Ninja, with or without LUT applied. So that's wonderful. Let's have a look at the chat. Clifflex, side note, I wonder why ATOMOS has never mentioned that the Creator was filmed exclusively on ATOMOS and ProRes RAW. It's nowhere on their marketing. Why? Well, that's a good point, because I did not know that, and that is a bit strange indeed, because you'd think that would make for good marketing. Good point. Sorry for pronouncing your name incorrectly. Guglielmo. Oh, cool, you have Blackmagic Assist too. Yes, nice. I would love to do some tests with that. Well, if you're in the Netherlands, then you can come over and do some testing. But if you're anywhere else in the world, it becomes a bit difficult. But yeah, it's really nice. I do find myself grabbing the Ninja 5 more often. But if I want to shoot RAW, or I need a very bright screen, then the video assist is really nice. Or if I need SDI, because it's got SDI in and out as well as HDMI, and it's got redundant power options with the 2 battery slots. It's a really nice device. It is more expensive though. All right. JC, hi JC. Is the Ninja with OS11 sluggish since upgrading? I wondered if the hardware could support the new changes and features. Well, I haven't experienced that at all, but I will say that I have seen some people in Facebook groups mentioning that. But I've used it since I've upgraded, and I haven't had any problems. Not sluggish, no problems basically, except for the upgrade itself. I don't know what that is. There were lots of differences with people upgrading and people having different experiences with how the operating system performed after they upgraded, and that makes me think that it might be that there are obviously several batches of Ninja 5s and Ninja 5 Pluses. So it might be that some batches may be worse than others. I think that could be. I don't know. But it is a bit strange. Okay. Philip. Hey, Philip. Hey, missed your live. Just got out of June too. Oh, well, that's very cool too. That's a lot cooler than my live stream, I'm sure. Guglielmo, Oren Software mentioned that then used ProRes RAW in an interview. You can call me Willie. That's a lot easier, thanks. Mentioned that they used ProRes RAW in an interview. Seems like a bit of overkill for an interview, really. Droz Mister, hey man, hope to update soon. I'm back always. JC, okay, great. That is good news. Yes. So nothing's guaranteed in that regard, but I haven't had any problems. All right. What else did I have to say about this? Let's have a look at my notes. Yeah, I really wanted to talk about the fact that it's, I'm just going to say it again, that it's awesome that it's now reading it, the log exposure regardless of the viewing LUT. That's just, that's huge to me. I just wish they had changed that for the other exposure tools as well, which they haven't. All right. Any more questions? Willie, no, I meant that Oren said that they used RAW for the movie. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, like I said, for an interview, it seems a bit overkill, but for a movie, yeah, that makes sense. All right. What's the time? Oh, already 45 minutes. Okay. I think that's basically it. So OS11 is a bit boring, really, but you do need it if you want the feature pack. So you can't install the feature pack on OS 10. You need to be on OS 11. And they're also phasing out OS 10, so it makes sense to upgrade to OS 11, though you don't really get anything from it. Yeah, I think that's it. So if you want to learn more about the Ninja 5, I have 2 more live streams, one talking about exposure tools and the other one talking about the audio options the Ninja 5 has, like all the audio channels that you can record and the mic input and how you sync the analog audio with the audio that's coming from your camera. So if you want to learn about that, I believe I've put links in the description of this stream, so you can watch that. And let me have a quick look at my notes. Let's have a quick look at the chat, see if there are more questions. Definitely overkill for an interview, yes. JC, do you see yourself using ELZone? Yes, definitely. Definitely. It's one of the reasons, or the main reason, why I decided to purchase the feature pack. I didn't know, like beforehand, that it would read the exposure regardless of a viewing LUT. But what I did know is that ELZone measures in stops, and yeah, I thought that's like what I want. I find the other false color options not as user friendly or easy to read. I find this makes much more sense, ELZone. So yes, I will definitely use it. All right. Well, if there aren't any more questions, then this is basically the end of the stream. Thank you all so much for stopping by and asking me questions and listening to me ramble about the Ninja 5. And for the ones that watch this after the fact, thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye-bye.